Well, before I get started on making another one of the 6-fold journals, I want to thank some people. Carol Powers suggested when I showed the Huss Whiff roll that I was making that I make some and I sell them in my Etsy store. We'll see about that, Carol. I'm not so sure. That took a long time to design that and make it. D. M. McHugh, she asked me what I felt about Etsy closing down. I have not heard that at all. So that was news to me. Deborah, she is from Australia. Dawn F., she wanted to know where the Feast of Florals kit could be bought. And I apologize that I probably didn't mention that it is from Medieval Mirage over on Etsy. So you can find all of her kits there. They're fantastic. And then Elizabeth Savoy, she's a longtime subby, but it was the first time she commented. So thank you, Elizabeth. Well, on this 6-fold journal, I learned some new things, guys. So even though you may have watched me make my last one, I learned some ways to get things moving along a little bit faster. So let's start in on that video. In my planning for a new journal, I want to do another one of those 6-fold journals. And I'm going to use the French Rococo Rhapsody, Marie Antoinette, and Ladies in Waiting, the full size. And so what I've realized, I need 4 journals, the smaller ones. So I print the pages on 2 to a page. So say for instance, that's 1 page, and let me bring in a cutter and show you. You have to print the full length of the page without a border. It needs to be borderless because all of the pages need to be exactly the same size for it to work. So this is, I think it's 11 and a half, 8.5 by 11, no 11. So it would be 5.5 inches, right? 5.5, 5.5. And so then this is 1 page. We'll fold it in half. So that's 1 of the pages that's on the small journals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all of these pages, and like I said, I printed 2 to a page and did borderless. So I'm going to cut those. So after I cut my double pages in half, so then that would be 5.5. What you're going to do is fold them and put them in 2-page signatures. So let me show you what I do. So I've got some of the digitals, and I like that on the inside, that greenish color. And I'm going to kind of separate those out. I've got a book page here. I've got a plain blueberry colored page. And go ahead and fold that. And you just fold them in half. Like that. And then the rest are all digitals. So then I kind of look to see which digitals go well together. So this one has that front part, and then this is kind of greenish there, and that would go good together there. But I don't like that because those are the same color. So I'm going to set that one over to the side. Take the next one. That will look okay. So I'm going to put these two together just like that. So you've got that, and then that would be your center. Okay, so that's one signature. We're going to make 6 of them. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, this has 2 images, one on each side, so we can just fold that. And this is a nice journaling spot in the center. But what I think I'm going to do instead is put this page with this page and the blue. So that's number 2. This is always good in the, oh no. So see, we have this image here where it's a spread like that. So it's better to have this in the center. That's going to be the center there. And so then that's kind of a bluish color. That's, I don't really care for that. This is nice. Those two together, I think that's okay. So we're going to fold that one in half. You can use your bone folder if you need to. So then that's another signature. I like those together. Okay, we've got some pink here, and I've got pink on this paper. So let's, how do we, yeah, we want to do it like this. And then we can put, we'll see. I'm not positive. I have 2 pages similar. I think we need some color here. Let me just go ahead and fold these and we'll see what we want. Okay, so this has double. So let's fold that. Okay, so we've got that page. And so we kind of want that on the center so that you can, when you open up and turn the page, you see that. So I think those are okay. We can stencil here if I need to. So we're going to slip that underneath there. And then, okay, I think this, I took this book page and I formed not a pocket, but I strengthened it so we can add pockets there if we need to. And so I think that goes well together. And then this one can be like that. So there are our 6 signatures. And I'm going to take my bone folder and really crease those up. So you are going to need 4 of those because if you recall, the front of the journal is like this. It opens up that way, and then it opens up this way, and then you flip it over and do the other side. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I've got 2 more signatures here. So remember, I'm going to go through it again. You need 4, basically 4 small journals that are exactly the same size. They have 12 inside pages, and then they have a a book cover page or a more stable page. And I'm going to show you how I did that. What I did is I took some of my heavier paper. My pages that are in the journal are my hammer mill paper, which I believe is 24 or 28 pound. It's I'll put it in the description box. Let me just look so I can make sure to tell you. It's 32 pound. And then my Epson paper is 48 pound. So it's definitely a lot thicker. So what I did is I cut it in half. I printed on both sides, remember, okay? And then I split it down the center at 5.5 inches. So let me show you that. Five and a half inches. And so I have two of the same sheets. But if you fold one like this, you have this image. You can use that for the front. But if you fold it this way, you can have that for the other side. So what I do is, because I want this to be sturdy, I glue these two together. Let me show you. So we've got this image here, and I'm gonna just take some glue, a glue stick. I went to Target this morning and I bought more glue stick. Remember, I did a review of different glue sticks. I can't remember how many I had. There was like 10 of them or so. And I've gone through all of them because I didn't want to waste them. And remember, I think I told you that I preferred the Target brand. One, as you can see, because of the purple, where it goes. And it really did hold well. So I've got glue on both sides. And if I just turn it over, get a little bit of glue there, then I've got this image, okay? That's going to be one side. Then remember, we want it doubled up. So I'm going to add glue to the other side, the inside on that second one. Yeah, I went to Target today and bought more glue sticks. It was a big, huge pack. I think 12 of them or so, and these are big. I took little Miss Fiona with me. She's such a good girl. Like when I'm checking out, I just tell her, sit. She sits right down and she waits for me. Okay. And then we've got that. And this helps you not have to use chipboard to make a cover. So now what I'm going to do is put these two together, and it gives me a really nice, firm cover for the front. And I want that image on the inside, or it could be the opposite. This could be on the front page and this could be on the inside. It doesn't matter. You just want to make sure you glue these two together. So let me add some glue there. And I'm going to show you again the Coptic or Copic stitch. And that's how I joined them together. I think I've got enough glue, so I'm going to put those two together and just wiggle them around. Well, they're not wiggling. Sometimes what you have to do is add some Beacon's 3-in-1 glue, and that helps with the wiggling. So let me just add a little bit here. And then it helps them slide. Okay, hopefully I can get these two together and even. Yeah, see, when you add a little bit of that Beacon's 3-in-1 glue, they slide and you can get them even. Okay. So that is one of the covers to the small journal. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. I went ahead and sewed 2 of the small journals together. And I've left this one string. So this is a double page like this. And you can see it's pretty good and thick. And then these are the signature pages. So I put 2 to a signature. Okay, and so then I'm going to poke holes in them, and I'll show you how we assemble them or sew them. So next I'm going to show you how I sew these together. And so I have my hardcover first, and then each of my signatures. And I've went ahead and poked holes in all of them except for the last one. And I'm going to show you what I do. So I lay it in my little cradle. This cradle I bought from New York. It's made in Holland. And so you lay your paper in that little, what's that called? Whatever that's called. And then you lay your top layer, and then I just take an awl and poke the holes. And what I do is I put some sticky tape right where I want those holes to go, so that all the holes in every signature is the same. And then what I do is afterwards, I will come in once again with my awl and make the holes just a tiny bit bigger. So I just run that through there. And I didn't get this top one. Let me see where that is. I just run my awl through it or down the edge. Yeah, and then I'm able to do that. Okay, so all of the holes are poked in the signatures, the papers. And now I want to do my holes in the front cover. I've done the back cover, but now I need to do the front cover. So what I do is I bring it forward I take one of the signatures and I'm going to lay it right up against it so it's even on both of these sides. And then I bring in a book because this is only one side. Let me show you. It is not folded, you know, it's just one complete page. It's not like a signature. I can't put it inside the cradle. So I bring it in, I lay it on top, and then I can see my holes right there. So I just take my awl and I push it down and create a hole right where they are next to the signature holes. Then that marks it. Then I bring it up and I can see the holes, but I want them a little bit bigger. So then I take my awl and make those bigger. And remember, these are on my heavy Epson paper, and it's doubled. Okay, so that's the front. So again, when you are creating a journal, make sure your pages are in the correct orientation, because there's nothing worse than sewing something, and believe me, I've done it before, where the pages are not in the correct orientation. So I just take a look and I see how they're going to flow. Make sure they're in the correct orientation, and those are correct. So I lay those over to the side. Then I've decided to sew this in this light, kind of bluish waxed thread. So I've decided to show you how to sew this using the larger journal. So what you're going to do is take your last two pages, which means your back cover, which is sturdy, and the last signature. You're going to line them up together. Remember, you've got your holes through them. You're going to go through the first hole. This might be a little bit difficult to see because it's, of course, that eco-dyed paper, but you're going to come through the first hole, and it's with the last signature. And I've tied a double knot here. Then you're going to take the two of them and you're going to go through the back, looping it through that back cover. So loop it through, bring it around, and do you see how you've got that nice loop there? Pull it, then you're going to go around it like that. So then loop it one more to kind of make a knot. You see how that is? So that created that knot there. Then you're going to go back through that signature at that top hole. You're going to bring your needle in and hold it. There you go. I wanted to make sure that I didn't grab that knot. So then you're going to bring it through. And you're going to line them up and pull it a little bit tight. Then you're going to go through the next hole. And if you just run your finger down it, you can feel it. There it is, right there. So you're going to go in through that hole, bring it all the way through your signature, and you're going to look here to make sure that it is pulled all the way through. So now we've gone through that hole, and you take a look here and you make sure that you've pulled that a little bit taut so that it's even with that signature. Then you're going to go around on the outside of the cover and up through. So that loops that page. Do you see how it is? It looped it around, okay? And then I'm going to go through the back cover and that signature, bringing it around to tie it into basically a knot. So then now you're going to go back through the whole of that signature, bring it up, okay, and then you're going to go down through to the next hole, and it's right there, okay. You're going to bring it through, okay, then you're going to wrap it around the cover and go through between those two. So it loops, and I'm going to open it up just to make sure that that inside is flush with that crease. So I'm going to pull it just a little bit. You see how that tightened it up a little bit? Then I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to slide this through that cover and that signature. and that forms a knot. I'm going to pull it tight. There you go. Okay. That formed that knot. Then I'm going to take my needle and go back through this signature to the center. Okay. You guys know that I like challenges. I know some people this may be daunting, but I like figuring things out and I like a challenge. So I went back through. I'm going to bring it around. Okay. And I'm going to open it up and make sure it's a little bit tight. So I'm going to pull it. But if you pull too much, you're going to split your paper. So then now I'm going to go through these two and tighten that up. Okay, nice. And then back through the whole of the signature. See, I tore it just ever so slightly, but I think it's still going to be okay. So I'm going to pull it through. And then I'm going to go through the next hole. Making sure that that's laid kind of tight. I'm going to wrap it around from the outside in. Okay. And then around. To form that knot. Okay, you see how that formed that knot and pulled those two together. And then back through the hole. I think that's what the fun is of making a journal that takes a little bit of time, is mastering it. Okay, so then now through the last hole. Bring it around, up and through. ends are just getting all tangled up here. Okay, that came around nicely. And then I'm going to go through. Looks like I got to pull it tighter. Now on this last one, what you're going to do is you're not going to go back through this hole. What you're going to do is grab your next signature, make sure it's the correct orientation, and instead of going through this hole, you're going to go back through or go through the next signature hole, bring it up. It will connect those two. Okay, those two are connected. Okay, I brought it up. Then I'm going to go through to the next one. And you're going to join that signature with the next signature. So just run it through. Pull it. It makes your little knot. And then you're going to take your needle back through to here. And then you're just going to keep repeating those steps. And untangling your wire, your thread. And, oh, shoot. Okay, so now we have this. It's kind of tight. We'll go through to the next one. Okay. Come up. And then pull it kind of tight. And then around to form that loop between the previous signature and the new signature. And then kind of tight. And then back through the previous hole. As your string gets shorter, it definitely gets easier. Next one. Okay, I can tell that went tight enough, and up and around to connect both of those with a knot. Okay. And then back through the hole. through the next one. So you are just going to repeat these steps. Untangling and getting tangled up. Oh my gosh. So I had a kind of a scare today. Pascal, my son, was playing with Fiona. He's off of work today. And so he was throwing a toy. He was sitting on the couch and he was throwing a toy off the couch, and then she was jumping back onto the couch to get the toy or to take the toy back to him. And all of a sudden, I heard yelping like she was hurt, and him scream, "Mom!" Well, she had jumped off the couch and I guess twisted her back leg, and she was limping and whimpering. Well, after a little bit of time of me loving on her and what have you, she was okay. But boy, I felt so bad for my son. He really got scared. He thought she had got hurt, really hurt. And I told him, I said, Pascal, just continue to play with her, but maybe not have her jump on and off the couch. Okay, so now we're there. We're going to grab our next signature and bring it in. So I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to keep doing this. I hope you guys have it down, and I'll be back with you with the last signature and the cover page. Well, you don't know how quickly that came together as the thread got shorter. So now we're going to sew our last signature and the cover. So what you're going to do is put those two together. You're going to lay them on top. You're going to take your thread and you're going to go through the cover of the journal. Okay. Bring it around. Okay. And you are going to loop it then with the last signature you looped. So go in through here. I hope you can see that. Go in, loop it around. Okay. And then you're going to go in through the hole of the signature that you didn't go through. So you're going to go through the hole there of that last signature, bring it up, and then we're going to tighten it all up. Okay. And then down through that next signature. So in through the hole Okay. You got to bring those tight, bring it around, and then through here. And then around that last signature you did, the previous one that doesn't have any loops through it, up and around, and then through, back through that one signature, the first signature. Okay. So then I've got those together. And then through the next one. And the cover. Okay. Hold it up together so they're together. Make sure it's pulled kind of taut. Go around through that one signature and up. There we go. And then through the hole of the first signature. Okay, next one. There. And through. I suppose there's a couple of ways you can do it. You could even go through this. I think it will be just as good, so I'm going to go through like that. Pull it around. And then through the two. And then through that hole. I hope I found it. Yeah, I did. So I think either way is okay as long as they're connected and tight. Up. Oh, I don't have a hole there. I forgot to punch a hole there. I missed that. Let me open it up. Well, it's right there. I just forgot to go through to the other side. Or I couldn't see it, one or the other. There we go. Whew, scared me there for a minute. Okay. So then now it actually is easier to come around. and then connect those previous two. And then back through the whole of the signature. And then I think we're almost to the end here, guys. I hope you learned how to do this. I hope I gave you clear enough instructions and you were able just to take your time. When I learned how to do this, I had to watch a video over and over again. And I still have to watch it. A good person to watch is Treasure Books. She's got a good video on how to do this kind of a stitch. I will try to remember to link her video. She even has some printed instructions on how to do it. And come around here. I definitely had more string than I needed. And then I am going to, I think I'm going to tie it off. Let me just double check the inside here. I'm going to tie it off on the outside. Yeah, that's connected. So what I'm going to do is I ran it through, but I'm going to also run it through here on this top one and then tie a knot. And I might even do a couple of knots because, yeah, I think I'm going to leave this string just in case I want to do a dangle. Come on, don't do this to me now. There we go. Ooh. Alrighty. So let me undo this and show you how it turned out. So they're all connected beautifully. And they lay flat. That's the nice thing about this binding. So I hope you guys learned. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you in the next video when we put this journal together.